Hey guys, Kevin here from the Nerd Cave, and today we're out in the shop. I'm going to make a quick and easy paper dispenser to be able to cover one of my work tables. Now, I normally cover this table with a big roll of rosin paper. Problem is, my table is only 24 inches deep, and this is probably about 3 feet. And I'm getting really sick of having to unroll it, try to cut it to the right size. So today, I picked up some contractor's paper from my local big box store. Problem is, this is still 28 inches instead of 24, but we're going to fix that. Originally, I was going to try to build the dispenser out of wood and a dowel, but I sat down and I looked over and I saw my paper towel dispensers that are magnetic and thought, why not try to use those? So let's see what we can do. The first problem I noticed is the end of my paper is not the same size as this. It won't fit in there. So I'm going to see if I can take this apart and get it to work. It's got a bolt on the back, so should be able to just unscrew it. And there's a nut on the inside. Let's see if we can use that. And there's a nice little seam down here. I'll try to pop that off. There we go. So we've got my nut. This little piece that was in there should be able to glue in there. One of my favorite glues for pretty much any plastic is this Weld-On 3. It's actually made for acrylic, but I've found it works on lots of plastics. I even use it on my PLA 3D prints. I do recommend wearing gloves with this. Reading the dangers, it's pretty toxic stuff. It doesn't have barely any fumes, but you probably should wear a respirator as well. You only need a little bit of this stuff. The nice thing about this is it actually melts the plastic. So once it dries, it actually forms one solid piece. The downside is if your pieces don't line up exactly, it won't glue because this stuff's as thin as water. So now that we've given the glue some time to dry, let's try to assemble this. I think if I put this, the flanged end, towards the metal part, I have my lock nut. That's nice and tight. Now, it should fit in there nicely. So let's go ahead and do that for the other side. I'm going to attempt to cut this roll of paper down to 24 inches. I've never tried to cut through a roll of paper, so we'll see how this goes. You do have to be very careful cutting anything round on a bandsaw because it likes to catch and pull forward, breaking your blade or worse, pulling you into it. Ideally, I would have this strapped down to something, but I'm going to see what we can do. We turn on the dust collector and let's try it out. Actually worked pretty good. I almost forgot to tell you where I got these. These are from Harbor Freight. They're like $13 for a set. Now that they're all assembled, let's get them on the table and see how it works. I don't think I could have asked for a faster and easier build. This thing works great and will save me lots of time cutting the paper to size. Once this paper's dirty, I just cut it and pull some new stuff out. I did run into one problem. The base of this is also 24 inches. It's steel, so these magnets stick great. But being that the paper's 24 inches, the magnets hang over the edges about that far, so they're not the strongest right now. I'll probably go back and weld a piece of steel on, and that way the magnets will have something to hold to completely. Other than that, I couldn't be happier. Make sure to click that button down below to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.